Hey guys, Rebecca here. I'm doing a quick vent video today because I'm already frustrated with the year. I know that we're only 3 days into 2021, but it's best to vent these problems out now before they fester into bigger problems down the line. I have 66,000 subscribers, so why is it that I'm only getting hundreds of views, not thousands? A channel with that many subs should get around 66k views per video, or at the very least 30 to 40,000 views within a month. The cartoon community is full of spite and atrocious monsters. I fucking hate it. It's supposed to be a safe haven for people who love animation. But in reality, it's full of pedophiles, Nazis, abusers, sexists, racists, and just every single kind of horrible person imaginable. YouTube has stated in 2019 that they actually control the algorithm. So when a video actually keeps getting recommended over and over again, even if you saw it before and hate it, it's YouTube that chooses to put that there. Like, they said this without a hint of irony. So my question is, why aren't I the one being chosen to be recommended? What makes you say, oh yeah, let's recommend that? Like, is this at random? Is YouTube biased? No, YouTube is biased. Like, that's not even a question. It's not a fucking question. Be honest with me. And am I a good person? Trolls have been really getting on my nerves. I don't get trolls. They have no lives of their own. So what they do is shit talk random people on the internet. Doesn't even matter if they have the same opinion or not, and shit talk them. And I've been a target as of late, for reasons I don't know, and it's probably for petty reasons. Then that Christmas one was a scrap video that was supposed to be with my former best friend Lena, who I cut out of my life last month. And I didn't want to throw away all that work for nothing. So I had Dashi replace Lena essentially. Lena was an obsessive bitch to me. She would always try to make me have these hate bones for people. I'm open for discussion, but most people just choose not to talk to me. And just assume the worst in me. Like, remember that Twitter pin thing? Let's pull out the pin. People had said I left Twitter because of my thoughts on masks. And that's complete bullshit because it's not true at all. I left Twitter because it has a huge pedophile problem and the people on there were shit. But let's also first establish that my opinion on masks have changed over time. And the only people in the server that ever really did get hostile from me were previous staff members that have left the server like Crimson Mayhem and Sarah, both of which have shit-talked me behind my fucking back. I never in my life had to ever deal with as much shit as 2020. 2020 was the worst year of my life, not because of the virus, but because of all the shitty people I had to deal with. All of the friends I had to cut out because of their toxicity. People are saying 2021 will be better. Will it though? We're only 3 days into the year, and yet I still feel fucking miserable. I uploaded a new Ryomation review yesterday, and ignoring the new monetization issue, it's not doing well with views. At the time of me recording this, it has less than 500 views, and that was like 24 hours ago. If you want me to believe 2021 will be better, change needs to happen for the better, and it needs to happen now. Not weeks from now, not months from now, but now. Like, what is the point of waiting? It's easy to say that you're going to change. It's hard to actually do it. Like, whenever I tell people to support me on Patreon, they flat out tell me that they can't afford it. And I have to say that's fucking bullshit. If you are using the internet, you can afford Patreon. The nicer and more correct thing to say would be, I'm not interested in supporting you on Patreon. That may sound harsher, but it's the truth. Because you can afford Patreon. $1 per video is not a lot. And yes, I charge per video, but I only charge for reviews. So a video like this one definitely won't get charged. And either way, I don't charge more than 5 times per month. In essence, you only would pay me $5 a month at most if you went with the $1 charge. I think you can afford $5 a month. I know that it can be done. But in order for that to work, I would need more Patreon subscribers. Even having 1% of my YouTube subscriptions each paying $1 per video would be enough to help me live. That would be like $660 per video. Instead, right now, I don't even make $10 per video. And yes, I'm very thankful for the Mummy Guy and now Chloe Small for supporting me, but it's not enough. I need more generous people like this. If you really want to help someone, money is the best answer. Thoughts and prayers is not enough. It's never been enough. It's like saying, I'm sorry or I feel bad for you. While that's a nice suggestion, it's not good enough in the end. Just saying things is never enough. You want to help someone? Action is required. Not dialogue, action. Which many people cannot comprehend. To make 2021 better, I need to be happy. Want me happy? Make things like back in the 2010s. No more masks, no more physical distancing, no more Black Lives Matter. And that's another fucking thing. I've actually been afraid of posting my own opinions to the internet as of late. And then there's the more deeper controversies. I don't really care for the George Floyd shooting. And I thought that the judge did the right thing with the Breonna Taylor shooting. Both are opinions that people would hate me for. The cops shot Breonna by accident. That is what happened. Yet people can't grasp the truth. Meanwhile, George committed a crime. Yes, he didn't deserve to die, and I'm glad that the police officers got thrown in prison. But George would at least have to serve some jail time for counterfeit, stealing, and fraud. He just didn't deserve to die, though. But this is all open for discussion. But I know people who watch this, you know, the less than 1,000 people that do because YouTube just doesn't care anymore. Someone out there is gonna misinterpret this video and label me as racist. Do you know what pisses me off even more? Whenever I introduce someone to my staff and then someone comes to me and says that they're terrible with no evidence or false evidence. Or rather past experiences from years ago. Nekopan is an artist of mine who started in the MLP list. About a week after that video went up, I got an email saying that she was an abuser. I looked into this and Neko had to explain to me the correct situation. Well, she didn't explain the correct way. It was more like she explained the situation and that she accepted that she made past mistakes and toxic behavior. But the problem is that these assholes that were abusing her didn't believe that. Think like the I love Kim Possible a lot situation. After this, I gave Neko a panic attack and I regret doing so. The panic attack from her was mostly because she didn't want to end up being fired or end up in the same abusive situation that she did with Phantom Strider. I'm not going to talk about Josh for right now due to legal reasons. I suppose that could lead to my abuse from Lena. It was only a thought and I never really did go through with it. Like I would leave Pennsylvania and move to New Hampshire at will. Like I was ready to go through with it. Until I had a bunch of people help me realize that this was a terrible idea. What I didn't realize is that Lena was being abusive and manipulative to me for months. I even donated $200 to Lena out of the kindness of my own heart. And then she abused it. It was supposed to help us as in her trying to find a home for the both of us. Instead, she conned me out $200 for her own selfish needs. Like hanging out with friends or buying some expensive shit like food and clothing. Nothing of which why I gave her $200.